All right, we're rolling. Let's get to it, Cancer. This is for you. Hi, that's you, Cancers. This is Star Illumination, and it is your February 2019 mini generic love and relationship report. Please watch for your sun, moon, and rising. Also, some people even watch their Venus sign. Now, before we get into it, I want to let you know cards were already well shuffled in advance, but I want to show you something else. Okay, just hold on a second. You'll see what I mean. Here it is. I know. This is the Tarot Illumination Crucible spread. Okay, it's on the understanding that there's you, a significant other, deep in you, deep in the other, and at the core, the relationship itself. This is a completely separate entity. Okay, it is a third entity, and you guys own this thing. It's a living thing. I like to think of the crucible as the structure. A crucible is a bowl. Okay, it's very much like this in science labs that are used to withstand intense alchemical reactions. Okay, it's just like what happens in human relationships. So that's why I use this particular spread. Okay, and this whole thing is like your whole relationship radiates energy. It's just like a smartphone. You radiate, they radiate. The relationship radiates. So what is the nature of this? That's what we need to know. That's what we do here at Terra Illumination. Outside all of this is circumstantial energy. Think of it as the weather coming back to you. We might go back to this. I hope that little Terra Illumination doodle helped you guys. I've done it on each report now for February, so I'm hoping it adds a level of understanding. I'm going to go for a last second shuffle to make sure that you're a witness, and then we will pull out the story here. For Terra Illumination, it's very much like watching a Netflix movie or something. I'm doing my best to transcribe subtitles for you, or at least create some sort of dialogue. Oh yeah, hold on. I just got something to show you guys before we actually get into the reading. No jumpers, no flyers, no oracles, no reversals. You know that. I would ask you, I'm inviting you, please seriously check out the February 2019 Astrodoodles reports because they are relevant, and it's just too much to try and squash all that into one report anymore. So I'm just going to give you a quick glimpse. This is the Terra Illumination Astrodoodle report for February 2019 for Cancerians. I'm not going to go into all of this. You can see the other playlist, but I want you to pay close attention to the lunar transits, Cancer. It's a very, very wobbly month, okay? Very, very wobbly and shifting and changing. And there's a lot of pressure ongoing in your seventh house of relationship, okay? That's Capricorn energy, okay? So what I'm going to ask you to do is please check the lunar transits, February the 1st and 2nd, also February 27, 28. We have twice the moon goes through Capricorn, okay? In February. So please pay attention around those dates because you could be very vulnerable or very sensitive, very aware, and things might come up that you need to understand. Okay, let's get to it. I'm not going to try and analyze that for you. All I'm suggesting is be aware, okay? Pay very close attention. All right, thank you so much for listening. Sorry about the long preamble. We're now going to get into it. Also, if you need anything, you know where to come, Terra Illumination. So just check out the links below in the description box and do all the subscribes and likes and comments and membership. All of that stuff is really, really good. Okay, invite your invisible friends. Do it right now, please. Get your invisible friends here and let's make a team effort out of this. Terra Illumination does not work alone. Let's put it that way. Here are you, Cancer. What are you radiating? Think of the laws of attraction. Beep, 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 beep. And if you're single, you can even watch this if you want, but you have to understand and allow for the laws of attraction because what you put out creates an attraction, okay? And also like a bouncing, like the universe is kind of like a mirror, and so you kind of get back a reflection. So what is that like? Over here, what are they radiating? This is the other. You'll see the correlation between the cards and the doodle I showed you earlier. Deep inside of you, deep inside of the other, and to the core itself, the relationship. And what is this relationship fermenting? What is fermenting here? You see, this is the bowl, and this is the entity in which you guys conduct your relationship as you intimate and separate like all beings, okay? So it's essential to understand the nature of this. Over here, circumstantial energies, environmental influences, call it the weather. And we have the Page of Swords. So my feeling is that it's like a kind of a delicate time where issues of trust and clear communications are going to be at paramount here, very significant, where it's like, remember, this is not a couples reading, by the way, Cancer. It's just for you, but we're allowing for a significant other. My feeling is that it's going to be, to me, it feels actually kind of exciting about the idea of clear communications opening up a veil to better and clearer communications, because the Page of Swords is demanding truth. It's like the innocent young college student type of energy that they're always on like protest marches against everything. They protest against everything, you know, global warming, religion, sexuality, finances, politics, whatever it is, left wing, right wing. And it's all very well intended, but there's a little bit of innocence that goes with it. But what they're really craving is just truth, facts, reality. Okay? So I think that's what's happening here. Just like a getting down to some clear communications and understanding between yourself and another. And that's what's out there. And that's from my perspective, is very conducive to improving relationships, because when I think about it here, it's like no communications, no relations. You know, like how they also say no finance, no romance. It's very similar, okay? It's very hard to conduct a relationship without communication, okay? Whether it's on the etheric level or at the day-to-day mundane level with your texts and smartphones, or just even good old-fashioned human conversation. Over here, what are you radiating? Okay. Well, with the Eight of Wands, I'm happy to see that you're all fired up like this and ready to go. Maybe it's just because, you know, I could go on about the planets and everything, but you might just be kind of in high spirits. You know, towards the end of the month, we move into Pisces season, which is very conducive and very favorable for you in terms of like expanding your horizons in life, love, relationship, in every way, shape, or form. And also, this might be just like you really are feeling very passionate towards a significant other, and it's becoming very, let's say, obvious, no matter your gender. Okay, over here, what are you radiating? What are they radiating? Pardon me. So, dear Cancer, it looks like you're relating with someone who is totally on board with this whole communications and truth-telling thing, where they see this time. My feeling is that they see this as an exciting opportunity for themselves to grow and expand in their own wisdom, learning, and awareness. You know, relationships can do that. If you're in a very, let's say, active, thriving relationship where there's a lot of intimacy and space, intimacy, separation, where you are you, they are themselves, and you allow yourself to be deeply intimate, and at the same time, you allow yourselves to be completely individuated. There's you, there's the other. It's an incredibly liberating experience to be deeply loved and to be given your space, okay? And on complete open trust. It's a beautiful thing. And so it looks like you've got someone over here who is aware of that already, and it's like they're eager to take advantage of that, because from the Tarot Lumination perspective, love is as love does, where love is a willing decision to go deliberately above and beyond your comfort zone in order to foster and nurture the spiritual growth and healing and expansion of your own self. On the Tarot Lumination mandate of love thyself, but it requires conscious effort and deliberate choices to do that. And I think that's what's happening here. Deliberate choices. This is all about love, okay? Love and relationship. Deliberate choices to make very firm, bold decisions about what's good for them, okay? Because what happens is when you are loving thyself when they are fully optimized and they are seeing an opportunity for themselves to be fully optimized, that's very good for you and the relationship. Besides themselves, being loving, being loved. They are being loving, being loved. They're being loving through their verdant, rich, expanding, opening communications. It's an incredibly satisfying experience. Over here, what's inside? Kerblam. Wow, and with the magician here, my feeling is that something or other is triggering this kind of turn on energy for you. I don't know if it might be something to do with this new moon in Aquarius over here up in your eighth house, okay, of intimacy, deep, deep intimacy, okay. And then later in the month, you've got the 18th and the 19th with Sun into Pisces, and you've got the full moon. That's very harmonious for you in terms of communication. So they might be sensing that, and you, through the laws of attraction, are getting that back to you in bucket loads. And it's so that bounces back again, like mirrors back and forth. To me, that looks like that signals you, uh, like it sends you a strong signal that you are in your power, you are in your place, and you are optimizing your talents and gifts and resources to do with as you will. There's a very strong energy of selfhood here, and will and willingness and the ability to manipulate matter and to make things happen. And so my feeling is that this is like an inspirational relationship. There are things, dynamics that are happening in the relationship that are inspiring you and to be more and more and more of who you are. And that in turn triggers them. Okay, so it's like a mutual appreciation society. I think that's what they call it. Over here, what about inside? Okay, now they might be fearful, deeply fearful of loss in some ways, because sometimes, I don't know if you've ever had that feeling, dear Cancers, like when you found something really amazing, something beautiful, and where so much is sparked, so much comes alive in terms of love and relationship. People go into doubt. They think, "Oh, that can't be it. That just can't be real. It's too, it, it's too good to be true. I know it's all going to get screwed up. It's all going to fall apart." And they're going to think, "Oh my God, I made the worst decisions ever." So I think deep down inside of the significant other, we're dealing with extreme energies. I think of it as volatility and the energy that we talked about. You have to check out the playlists, okay, for the astrodoodles. Otherwise, we'll be here for another 20 minutes on top. So my feeling is that we're dealing with extreme polarities of energy here inside a significant other, where they are very turned on by this relationship situation, really want to go for it. But inside is the terror, like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? I hope this works, because if it doesn't work, I am totally screwed. That's awful. That would be just so awful. It would be unimaginable. It's the unthinkable. This is the unthinkable. And some people are like that. And so a lot of that happens in relationships when they fear the unthinkable, rather than even open themselves up to the possibility that the unthinkable could occur. They delete themselves. They stop loving themselves. And then all of the opportunity disappears, and all of the goodness here and opportunity goes, oh. In other words, feel the fear. It looks like they're feeling the fear, but they're going for it anyway. Deep down, my feeling is that they're terrified that they're going to lose someone or something, or be left out, or disempowered, or having squandered. So to me, it's very scary for them, but it's also very exciting at the same time. What about at the core here? Let's have a look at what's going on over here. Okay, so to me, this is a bit of a shared energy. It's not a couple's reading, okay, Cancer, but I'm feeling this is a very, very stimulating relationship environment here, where the energy is very frothy, very volatile, and where it's very easy to trip up. You'll understand more if you see that other playlist. Very easy to trip up, and where you could get so excited, and the energy stimulates you, and then that stimulates that in your stimulation, you now stimulate them. So it becomes like an amplifier, becomes very frothy. It's like a bottle of champagne that actually accidentally got shaken. And then when you open it, it pops. Whereas if you open a bottle of champagne really properly, it just goes and you don't waste anything, and you save all the good stuff actually in the glass. It doesn't turn into just a bunch of suds and bubbles. So that's what I'm feeling is going on here. So with the Nine of Wands, my feeling is that the whole relationship gets into this point where you, Cancer, realizing that you're doing an incredibly good job and you're holding up against all odds, because the volatility here looks quite extreme, and the desire for getting to the truth of what needs to happen and how it has to happen in the context of relationship can, I feel, put a lot of pressure on the relationship on their side. I don't think you're worried. I think you're totally like committed and like wanting to get it on with all of this, but it does put the other party under a lot of pressure. They are responding accordingly because I think they can sense the rewards and the excitement and the fun and the treasure and the opening up of their own power reflected back to them as you. I see a lot of reflectivity going on here. Bam, bam, like, wow, wow, that's like, you're like me. Well, I'm like you. I wouldn't be like you unless you were like me. I couldn't be me unless you were being you. And I couldn't be me unless you were being you. So it requires very high levels of truth and integrity, spiritual commitment, honesty, and openness, communications with each other. And a lot of couples don't like to do that because it's too much work. It means you have to be really, really present and conscious, okay? A lot of people just prefer to do everything like, through their genitals or through their biological instincts, and anything that doesn't work out, or they're operating on autopilots. Well, I'm a guy, you're a girl, or I'm a girl, you're a guy, or whatever it is, your gender preferences and things like that. And that's how a lot of human behavior operates. A lot of it is on autopilot, the reptilian brain and our hormones and everything. But in this relationship, I think we're going into the spiritual aspects quite profoundly, quite deeply, and it's very stimulating, it's very exciting, but it's also volatile and kind of scary. Okay, so it puts you on kind of a high alert where you realize you've already invested a lot, and there's still more to go, still more to come, and you can handle it. You're prepared for anything, so don't worry too much about it. There's just feels like the volatility in a lot of states. So what is being fermented here? Oh, Terra can take a breath now. I just felt like I was on a serious kind of a roller coaster type thing here with these like activating energies. So oh gosh, I keep getting tempted to want to go into here, but I don't have enough. We don't have enough time. Okay, so what my feeling here is with the with the Knight of Cups that's being fermented here. It's number one. It's like your desired outcome anyway. Like this is how, like if you take all the effervescence, the mental and the psychic and the spiritual connectivity that's going on here, the power that's being stimulated in you, which is exciting for them, as scary as it might be for them deep down inside, it's moving forward anyway, almost against all odds, which is actually kind of exciting. It might be one of those against all odds type relationships. You might be pushing social boundaries, economic boundaries, religious boundaries, family boundaries, and all that stuff, which, some people don't like to do. They like to stay well within the comfort zones. But this is pretty much just the opposite of that. And it looks like what is actually being fermented here, literally, you know, literally fermented. That is the alchemical reaction as you guys are intimating and separating in your own natural ways. Okay, I'm going to go back to this again. Okay, so as you guys are continuously getting in and out of the relationship, being intimate, being separate, you being you, the other being the other, you guys being together and being as one thing, you are creating something here, and that's this. To me, this looks like it's very strong, has tremendous passion and power and commitment and drive and sense of mission, a desirable shared mission here. And what is happening, it's literally like you are fermenting something, and it's beautiful. To me, it's absolutely beautiful that you're fermenting something that works in terms of love. It's actually like you're brewing it. It's like home brew. You know, what do they call them? Those artisanal breweries. You have got a really freaking amazing formula. Something is fermenting that's very beautiful with you guys. I just hope you can can it or bottle it or box it or whatever. Because with the Knight of Cups, looks like it's like it's coming out. In other words, the conscious decisions that are made here, no matter how scary, uh, are actually very empowering, and it breeds love. What happens is, like, conscious, deliberate decisions made through the alchemical processes to walk away from anything and everything that does not work after deep evaluation and communication, and then moving forward with what does work in terms of what does love mean to us. What does love mean to you, my dear? Well, I was going to ask you, what does love mean to you? Well, okay, I'll start, and then they say, well, okay, well, this is how I understand things. Thank you so much. It helps me understand it better. Wow, I feel so much better now. Now that we and do you see what I'm talking about? It's fermenting and it's growing because it's being done very, very consciously. And it's like love. Once you already know the formula that love breeds love, then that's what you do. You tune into the formula, you activate the formula, and then that is the outcome. Love basically ferments love. Okay, love breeds love. I'm going to leave it like that. I don't want to say anything more. You guys can reinterpret it. You know what to do. Watch your sun, moon, and rising. Check out the Astrodoodles playlist. Make the best of it. And of course, again, please pay very close attention around the lunar transits, February 1st and 2nd, February 27 and 28. Okay? All right, Cancer, all the best. Have a super, super time. Bye bye.